Good morning, everyone. Let us pray. Gracious and eternal God, we come into your awesome presence this morning, recognizing you as the great I am. Indeed, there is none like you. It is from you that we get all our help and all our strength. So we look to you this morning, as the psalmist said, from whence cometh our help. We come asking you, Lord Jesus, to pour out your blessing on this Ministers of Energy conference. We ask for a special blessing individually and collectively on every attendee, and more especially the ministers. Lord, we are cognizant of your admonition that in all our ways we must acknowledge you, and you will direct our path. So we acknowledge you this morning. You are a way maker, and you are the way, the truth, and the life. Hence we come to your throne of grace, asking to give our ministers clear directions as they navigate the path towards sustainable energy. Sustainable energy that would create opportunities for reinventing the economies of the OECS. God, they need your help. They need the strength that comes only from you. Dear Lord, our ministers are on a mission to drive and support sustainable development through regional integration. And so as they deliberate, grant them wisdom, knowledge, understanding, the spirit of collaboration, love, joy, peace, camaraderie. And Lord, when the road gets rough and tough, give them sustained energy and the strength they need to face the challenges with resilience and enthusiasm. Lord, our eyes are on you, and we are depending on you to see us through. Give them every assistance they need to achieve the objectives of this conference, and we are confident that the fruits of their labor will not be in vain, and we will give you thanks for the successes that we know will come and will redound to the benefit of not only our region, but the world at large. Lord, in your mercy, hear our prayer. Amen.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Davron. Let me invite you at this time to take your seat. I now invite the head of the Director General of the OECS Secretariat, Dr. Didicus Jules, to bring remarks.
Thank you very much. I know the usual thing with such long protocol is to say adoption of the protocol already established. Nevertheless, I want to recognize and thank the Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew for his presence, Premier Brantley, Minister Maynard, who is the incoming chair of the Council of Ministers of Energy, other ministers of the Cabinet of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, Honorable Kieran James, who is of Grenada, our outgoing chair, members of the Diplomatic Corps, permanent secretaries, senior officials of OECS member states, development partners, Mr. Chamberlain Emmanuel, and Head of Environmental Sustainable Division, Ms. Judith Ethrain, Director of Sustainable Energy, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press. On behalf of the OECS Commission, I'm delighted to welcome you to this third meeting of the OECS Council of Ministers. It's being convened under the theme Sustainable Energy, Creating Opportunities for Reinventing the Economy of the OECS. As we gather here in St. Kitts and Nevis, we find ourselves at a very critical juncture in the global fight against climate change, with our small states on the front lines of this battle. It is with great pleasure that I note that the progress of this council since its inaugural meeting at CREF in Miami in 2022, we have transitioned from a virtual presence in the second meeting to this landmark in-person gathering. The choice of St. Kitts and Nevis as our host is particularly fitting given the Federation's steadfast commitment to advancing sustainable energy agenda and its bold plans for the near future. And we extend our heartfelt gratitude to Prime Minister Drew, to Premier Brantley, Minister Maynard, as well as the people of St. Kitts and Nevis for their warm hospitality. To all ministers and delegations joining us, whether in person or virtually, your presence is a testimony to your unwavering commitment to our cause. I also wish to acknowledge our partner organizations from the Caribbean and beyond, whose collaboration is invaluable to our collective efforts. The OECS stands at an inflection point where sustainable energy holds the key to our economic invention. Our fossil fuels will be the addiction that imperils our climate and stunts our growth. We face a clear economic imperative. The high cost of imported fossil fuels continues to drain our economies, with electricity tariffs among the highest globally, affecting our competitiveness across all sectors. Yet, within this challenge lies opportunity. By transitioning to sustainable energy, we can redirect millions of dollars currently spent on fuel imports into productive investments that create jobs, build industries, and drive economic growth. 2025 is proven to be a year of great uncertainty and volatility, and I think all of us here follow the news very closely, where all alliances are adopting new stances that may not put us on the global agenda for change. They may not even consider the needs of small island developing states at all. But amid wars, civil and political strife, and a reordering of economic priorities in favor of the interests of powerful elites, 2025 may also be the year that we in the OECS set off on an entirely different course, leading to a truly progressive and equitable future. We are therefore compelled to treat the mission to reinvent our economies through sustainable energy development with, to borrow from Martin Luther King, the fierce urgency of now. The global picture is one of stark contrast. On the one hand, we see true climate leadership from nations like New Zealand, Britain, and even Switzerland, who have just submitted ambitious targets to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change under the Paris Agreement. On the other hand, we face a significant setback with the United States' announced intention to withdraw from the Paris Agreement, a decision that threatens to destabilize the delicate balance the international community has worked so hard to achieve. In the face of these challenges, how will the OECS respond? I believe our path is clear: to forge ahead with unwavering determination, turning the global energy transition into a catalyst for economic reinvention and growth. The vision is a sustainable and resilient region. Turning those challenges into opportunities requires a collective vision, and I emphasize a collective vision of sustainability, where one, renewable energy dominates. We achieve significant renewable energy penetration across our region by leveraging the multiple indigenous sources in each member state, and especially in St. Kitts and Nevis. Secondly, economic transformation occurs. Our transition to clean energy can create thousands of new jobs, attracts huge international investment. I was just discussing with Prime Minister Drew the potential now with AI demanding so much energy, the possibility of having AI locations in the OECS and in St. Kitts and Nevis that will earn more from our energy utilization. And also attracts international investments and positions us as leaders in sustainable tourism. Thirdly, climate resilience is built in. Our infrastructure and communities are fortified against the increasing threats of hurricanes and rising sea levels. Fourthly, regional cooperation thriving. We leverage our collective strength to negotiate better terms collectively for technology transfer and climate finance. The commitment to sustainable energy is already showing promising results. OECS member states are actively pursuing geothermal energy development, with Guadeloupe's 15-megawatt plant already demonstrating success. Construction is underway on what will be the second geothermal power plant in the OECS and the first in CARICOM at Laudat in Dominica, aiming to provide power for as many as 23,000 Dominican households, and with the potential to catalyze new industries. Then solar installations across our member states are reducing operating costs for businesses and public facilities, with a goal of contributing several megawatts of energy under the Eastern Caribbean Solar Challenge. These initiatives aren't about ticking boxes. They're about creating jobs, developing local expertise, enhancing resilience, and building viable industries. Every successful project strengthens our position as a market for sustainable energy investment. In turn, sustainable energy will be, if you pardon the pun, the very engine of growth and creativity for our people, powering ideas and enterprises that have not yet been thought of. Across our member states, we are seeing significant progress. Most member states have set ambitious renewable energy targets, with several aiming for 100% renewable energy by 2030. Solar PV remains the most widely adopted renewable technology across the OECS. As the ad used to say years ago in St. Lucia, the sun sends no bills. While the potential of other forms of renewable energy continues to grow, then electric vehicle adoption is increasing across all member states, though at varying rates. We also face common challenges that include financial constraints for project implementation, and I'm glad to see colleagues like the CAF Bank present, because they've been knocking on our doors for some time and we need to answer that call. Limited technical capacity and human resources, vulnerability to natural disasters, limitations to our grid infrastructure, land availability constraints, regulatory framework gaps. To meet these challenges and seize the opportunities before us, we must commit to several things. Achieve universal access to affordable, resilient, and clean energy solutions across all OECS member states. Then substantially increase renewable energy generation capacity through solar, wind, geothermal, and green hydrogen projects tailored to regional needs. Then implement comprehensive measures to enhance energy efficiency in homes, industries, and public buildings, fostering attitudinal and behavioral change to reduce overall consumption and costs. Then strengthen partnerships among member states, public and private stakeholders, and regional and international organizations to share knowledge, best practices, policy models, and resources. And lastly, to create robust platforms for public awareness campaigns, regional fora, and training initiatives that empower our people, our communities, and our organizations to take the path to sustainable energy. This brings us to the items for discussion and reflection in this third Council of Ministers meeting, centering on a roadmap to sustainable energy with plans that are ambitious but are practical and viable, involving accelerating policy implementation. We need to fast-track the adoption of renewable energy policies and incentives across our member states, guided by common standards and values. Then investing in human capital, prioritizing education and training programs to build a skilled workforce ready for the green economy. Embracing innovation, become a test bed for cutting-edge sustainable technologies from geothermal to green hydrogen to climate-smart agriculture. And lastly, to strengthen regional integration, harmonize our energy markets and policies to create economies of scale and utilization that are bankable and attractive to investors. In terms of regional market development, to be frank, these mega thoughts to develop these megawatts require megabucks. So let the message go forth to future investors and current partners that the OECS is building a unified, well-regulated market with tremendous potential for sustainable energy development. Our regional approach creates a more attractive investment environment through increasingly harmonized policies and standards across the member states. We are developing a combined market of over 1.4 million people with strong renewable resource potential, particularly in geothermal and solar, and growing energy demand across multiple sectors. Distinguished ministers, colleagues, and friends, the global context is sobering, to be sure. But we can also agree that a sustainable boom rather than doom and gloom is the appropriate response. While some nations retreat, our island states will lead. While others waver, we will persevere and innovate. I encourage you to approach these 2 days of deliberations on raising the bar of partnership in this economic transformation through sustainable energy for the next decade. The path forward requires collaboration between governments, the private sector, development partners. It will require clear project pipelines, supporting policy frameworks, and strong political commitment. By working together, we can create bankable, profitable, investment-grade ventures that deliver lasting economic impact. Over the next decade, sustainable development will be our unquestioned moonshot. Getting there will require collaboration, commitment, and capacity. Our people are counting on us, and the world is watching. Let us rise to this challenge. Let us combine our resources, expertise, and commitment to reinvent the OECS economy through sustainable energy. And let us project the OECS as a beacon of hope and progress and a just and equitable future for all. And thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jules. Of course, a gathering of such, Dr. Jules, right. A gathering of such significance would not be possible without the leadership of the OECS Secretariat. And we want to, of course, extend our appreciation to Dr. Jules and his team for leading us thus far, for holding our hands, and for guiding us through this process. Colleagues, we are going to have and permit me to say colleagues, we are going to have a virtual presentation by the outgoing chair, the Honorable Kerrine James, Minister of Energy for Grenada.
Distinguished colleagues, esteemed partners, honored guests, it is with deep regret that I'm unable to join you here in person in St. Kitts and Nevis today. However, I am honored to address you as Grenada hands over the rotating chair of this esteemed Council of Ministers, Energy within the Organization of the Eastern Caribbean States. Our meeting today, under the theme Sustainable Energy, Creating Opportunities for Reinventing the Economy of the OECS, comes at a time when the urgency to transition to sustainable energy has never been greater. This is not just a policy ambition, it is an existential imperative. Our economic resilience, social development, and climate adaptation depend on how swiftly and effectively we transform our energy sector. The OECS region stands at a crossroads where the transition to sustainable energy is no longer a distant goal, but a necessary and immediate course of action. Our collective commitment to advancing clean energy solutions must be anchored in innovation, investment, and strategic collaboration. The potential for renewable energy across our member states is immense. Solar, wind, geothermal, and oceanic energy resources remain largely untapped. However, the realization of this potential demands not just political will, but the creation of an enabling environment that fosters technological advancements, robust regulatory frameworks, and sustainable financing mechanisms. As Grenada prepares to celebrate 51 years of political independence, we recognize that true sovereignty must also encompass energy independence. Our national energy transition is centered on the integration of solar, geothermal, and other renewable energy sources, the expansion of green transportation, the promotion of energy-efficient buildings, and the creation of green jobs to ensure that no citizen is left behind in this transformation. Yet, our progress has not been without challenges. The devastation wrath of Hurricane Beryl earlier this year underscored the vulnerabilities of our energy infrastructure. This was more than a crisis. It was a resounding reminder that resilience must be at the heart of our energy strategies. The reality of climate change demands that our transition be responsible, responsive, and resilient. These three pillars, responsibility, responsiveness, and resilience, must continue to guide our deliberations as a regional body. Ministers, distinguished colleagues, the energy transition cannot be achieved in isolation. The success of our energy agenda is directly tied to the strength of our regional cooperation. By leveraging the collective expertise and positioning of our member states, policy, a unified, attractive market for clean energy investments, develop regional energy infrastructure that enables economies of scale, enhance technical training and capacity building to equip our people with the skills needed for a green economy, and establish an OECS energy market that facilitates energy trade and maximizes efficiency across borders. The OECS Commission has played a critical role in supporting this agenda, and I have no doubt that under the incoming chair's leadership, these efforts will continue to gain momentum. As I pass the baton to the incoming chair, I do so with optimism and an unwavering belief that our collective ambitions will translate into concrete action. The conversations we have on energy efficiency, renewable integration, and capacity building must not remain theoretical discussions. They must materialize into policies, into projects, and partnerships that redefine our energy future. Our work here today is not simply about energy. It is about the economic transformation of our region, about securing a sustainable and resilient future for generations to come. Let us reaffirm our commitment to this cause with urgency, innovation, and an unwavering resolve. Thank you, and I look forward to the continued progress of this Council in advancing the energy security of the OECS region.
Let me, on behalf of this body, express our appreciation to Ms. James for the leadership that she would have displayed over the last year, and to, of course, ask for her continued support as we delve into such an important project. We are going to invite at this time the Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. We recognize, of course, that one of the most transformative opportunities before us lies in geothermal development. And I believe that Mr. Brantley, of course, has a lot to say. So, Minister Brantley, we welcome you at this time. Let's put our hands together and welcome Minister Brantley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Permanent Secretary. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm at a stage in my life now where I need my glasses to see you, but I take them off to see my page. So I want to start, of course, by acknowledging the presence of our Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, acknowledging the presence of our other ministers, including our Minister for Utilities, Honorable Congress Maynard, and other members of the Federal Cabinet that are here. I want to extend greetings to all the dignitaries, including my good friend, Director General of the OECS, Mr. Didacus Jules, and all those who are in attendance. Welcome to Sugar City, St. Kitts, and I hope that you get an opportunity to go over to Ouali, Nevis as well. I'm delighted to be here this morning, and you heard me being described as Premier and Leader of the Opposition. Yes, I'm Premier of the island of Nevis. I'm also Leader of the Opposition in the National Parliament here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And I think it's a useful thing to wear two hats at this conference. It's useful because I can come and speak to the aspirations of the people of Nevis. I can also come and say that on this issue, there is no sunlight between the Prime Minister and myself. We are 100% committed to this work and this pathway on which we find ourselves as we march towards a sustainable island state. So it is really an honor on my part to welcome all of you to this pivotal meeting of the OECS Council of Energy Ministers. And we gather today with a shared vision of a sustainable and resilient energy future for our region. The urgency to transition to renewable energy cannot be overstated. Our region faces some of the highest electricity prices globally, coupled with the devastating impacts of climate crisis. By embracing renewable energy, we can reduce our carbon footprint, enhance energy security, and create economic opportunities. Renewable energy sources such as geothermal, solar, and wind are not only environmentally friendly, but also provide a sustainable path to energy independence and resilience against global energy market fluctuations. Incidentally, just yesterday I had a meeting with the team on Nevis for our local utility, Nevlec, and they gave me the very unfortunate news that diesel prices are once again creeping upwards. If that happens, we know the knock-on effect in terms of the cost to our economy and the cost of living generally. Collaboration and information sharing among OECS states are crucial. By sharing knowledge, best practices, and technological advancements, we can accelerate our collective progress towards renewable energy goals. This cooperation ensures that no member state is left behind and that we leverage our collective strengths to overcome common challenges. Information sharing fosters innovation, reduces costs, and enhances the overall effectiveness of our energy strategies. St. Kitts and Nevis, and especially Nevis in particular, has made significant strides towards renewable energy. Our geothermal energy potential is substantial, and we are actively working towards harnessing this resource to not only meet our energy needs, but also to export to neighboring territories. Currently, I'm happy to report that bids are being invited from a list of qualified firms for drilling 3 production and 2 reinjection wells at our Hamilton site in Nevis. The initial plan is to produce 30 megawatts to meet the base load in St. Kitts and Nevis. Depending on the results of this initial effort, additional wells will be drilled to produce an extra 20 megawatts at that Hamilton site. Further plans may include an additional 50 megawatts at a second site later on, with the excess power being exported to other islands or used to produce green hydrogen and/or its derivatives for local use and export. Alongside the development of power generation facilities, St. Kitts and Nevis will be constructing a high-voltage transmission system with submarine cable interlinks between the 2 islands. Eventually, this transmission system is expected to be linked to other islands near St. Kitts and Nevis. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the value here is the proximity of St. Kitts and Nevis. Unlike Antigua, Barbuda, Trinidad and Tobago, and other multi-island or twin-island states, we are really very close. In fact, I invite you to come back. We have a swimming competition each year when swimmers swim from Nevis to St. Kitts. It's 5 miles underwater taxi, 5 minutes, underwater taxi, just 2 miles. What that does, it means that it makes it a lot easier for us to connect. And now, with the political will that exists in our country, we feel that this is the opportune time to create a single transmission system, a single system for the transmission of electricity, so that we in Nevis can benefit from whatever is generated on St. Kitts, and you here in St. Kitts can benefit from whatever is transmitted and generated on Nevis. To put the geothermal potential in context for you, I think that the last information I had was that at peak, St. Kitts and Nevis is only consuming about 50 megawatts of power at peak. Obviously, when we all go to sleep late at nights, that drops. But at peak, we're 50 megawatts. The geothermal potential, we're told, is in excess of 400 megawatts of power. It therefore means that we will, in due course, be in a position where we have excess capacity. And excess capacity then allows us to do many things, including, as the Director General said, have AI data centers, have downstream uses for that energy. And so we certainly look forward, and we feel that this is an exciting time and a time for transformation. The journey, however, has not been without its difficulties. We have faced technical, financial, and regulatory hurdles. Despite these obstacles, however, our commitment remains unwavering, and we continue to push forward with determination and resilience. I can say that for the very first time, St. Kitts and Nevis has determined that the exploration and development of our geothermal resource will be pursued as a national imperative. It is now firmly fixed on the national agenda. Notwithstanding that it is under the ground in Nevis, we intend to exploit it for the benefit of all Kittitians and Nevisians. The economic benefits of transition into renewable energy are substantial. By reducing our reliance on imported fossil fuels, we can save on energy costs and redirect those savings towards other critical areas of development. The development of renewable energy projects will create jobs, stimulate local economies, and attract investment. Additionally, the potential to export excess energy and green hydrogen can generate significant revenue from our region, further boosting our economic growth and stability. As an OECS economy, we have been heavily dependent on tourism. We saw during the devastation of COVID-19 that tourism perhaps is quite fickle. And we see energy, therefore, as a significant strand to our local economic mix. We see energy as a potential, or having the potential, to be transformative and to allow us to wean ourselves off the dependence that we currently have on tourism. We can become, in my humble opinion, an energy-focused economy, as we see elsewhere, except that our energy will be renewable energy. The environmental benefits of renewable energy are equally significant. By reducing our dependence on fossil fuels, we can decrease greenhouse gas emissions and mitigate the impacts of climate change. Renewable energy projects such as geothermal, solar, and wind have a much lower environmental footprint compared to traditional energy sources. They help preserve our natural landscapes, protect biodiversity, and ensure cleaner air and water for our communities. Embracing renewable energy is a crucial step towards safeguarding our environment for future generations. Minister Maynard has heard me say this many times, that if we can solve our energy problems and produce cleaner, greener energy and cheaper energy, which we hope will be geothermal or whatever mix we end up with, then it means that our difficulties that we've experienced in terms of water can also be solved. We are surrounded by ocean, and the difficulty that we now have with large-scale desalination has to do with the cost of energy. So we solve energy, we solve water. Our farmers up in the hills need water. We solve water, we solve food. And if you can solve energy, if you can solve water, if you can solve food, then we become truly a sustainable island state. Meetings such as this, ladies and gentlemen, are vital for our collective success. They provide a platform for dialogue, collaboration, and strategic planning. By coming together, we can align our efforts, share insights, and develop cohesive strategies that benefit our entire sub-region. These gatherings are not just about discussing challenges, but also about celebrating our achievements and reinforcing our commitment to a sustainable energy future. As we embark on this important journey, let us remember that our actions today will shape the future of our region. Together, we can create a sustainable, resilient, and prosperous OECS. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Premier. A Across the OECS, geothermal resources hold the promise of providing a stable, low carbon and cost-effective energy source. The Premier, of course, would have reminded us that amid all of the difficulties and the challenges that we face, Nevis, the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, continues to advance, building on decades of research and preparation that could position St. Kitts and Nevis, the Federation, as a key contributor to the region's renewable energy transition. Thank you so very much, Mr. Premier. We're going to have a poem at this time by Mr. Alistair Phipps. Let's put our hands together and welcome.
That's my teacher. Morning. See, I've been gone for too long, out there in a coma. ICU. ICU in my dreams feels like I'm home, but wake up a loner. Prudent, now I'm grown. Lonely, but not alone. See, this world is my oyster, but SKN, you're my pearl. So hasta la vista, my views from a window's vista, immaculate, exquisite, impeccably rich, no makeup, no filter. Man, I really missed her. I still have her pictures in my phone. I have enough of this side chick. Pack up my bags quick, yes, I'm going home. And ain't no questions, interrogation from immigration. Prodigal back from vacation. Really looks beautiful, that's RLB abbreviation. Alistair in admiration, like damn. Not sure, and I really love your black sand. Born sinner, but I really came from St. Anne's. Yes, I've been a lot of places, but when there's a drought, Green Valley, my oasis. School of Hard Knocks, that's PHS, and that's where I learned about these two lovely ladies. Layamiga, I was so eager to meet you. My eye lands on your perfect features, and girl, you're shining. Between your black rocks are diamonds. Raised flags, that's two stars aligning. Your great stance, never falter. Brimstone Hattie, you're my great Gibraltar. See, you're the type that I would take to the altar. Park, colonize, call me Sir Warner. Engage, vows we exchange. Kalinaga rocks we engraved. Independent girl, you break chains. See, Berkeley stands still, but times change. Sugar City, sweet Sugar City. I'm St. Christopher, no biggie. Pelicans dive and fly for my city. It will be a bloody point if I die for my city. Owali, you're sexy, I'm sorry, forgive me, but looking at your hot spring body really tempts me. You make me sing, oh land of beauty. Lady of snow, it's you I seek. Nevis speak, no, that's a figure of speech. Culturama, the queen of the Caribbees. You always wear your crown high, that's how Nevis speaks. Bath hotels keep me calm. Poinciana, she reigns even when she falls. See, 4 seasons may change, but we weather the storm, and you're placed above me, you're my coat of arms, yeah? Queen City, my Queen City, with that oval face, you're so pretty, you know, breadfruit, saltfish, she hooked that up for me. With those poly mangoes, got me going crazy. This the new anthem, so raise those flags for me, thank you. Now this is important, so I have to read it. Technology, that energy, it keeps ringing in our ears. Should we answer the call? Yes, it's truly on the rise, but can be our greatest downfall. It breeds professionals and convicts. Hashtag pros and cons. The road to hell was paved with good intentions. Now tell me, what road are we on? It's been acrobats with acronyms. No need for sentences. We went from LOL to VHQFHGY. Now tell me what that sentence is. Conversational skills are out the window. Like wires, we say goodbye. Do we ask why? No, we just ask for the Wi-Fi. Out of touch, not touching screens. Not following minds, we following memes. Just following others, not following dreams. Are you following right now? Are you following me? Close your eyes. Imagine a world filled with smartphones, but the people aren't wise. Now open your eyes. You have unlimited data, means your limit is the sky. Feel the strong, strong wind that the air supplies. So download this app, install this app, apply. Open the doors of your mind, because education is the key. God's greatest gift granted, grab it. We always had 5 Gs. Cast your net, put the work in. Catching on also means that your net's working. That's networking. We are the powerhouse. With force, we can move mountains. Clean energy, geothermal. Going green, that's how we win. With the wind turbines, how they spin, got the breeze feeling so fine. Our solar panels, good match for our year-round sunshine. Never you hide your power. Water is life, that's hydropower. Be neutral, lives on the ground, that's current power. Educate yourself. That's how we are empowered. I don't need no negative energy in this land of ours. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Phipps. Very hardworking, no-nonsense, conscientious young man who has put his talent to good use. Let's put our hands together again for Mr. Phipps. Transforming the landscape as it relates to energy, at our ministry, we refer to him as the action man, the dynamic leader, Minister of Public Infrastructure, Energy, Utilities, Domestic Transport, Information, Communication, Telecommunication, and Post. Incoming chair of this esteemed body, our Minister of Energy, Honorable Conris Maynard. We invite you at this time.
Pleasant morning to all. Pleasant good morning to all. Let me just fix this. Allow me, of course, to acknowledge the presence of our distinguished Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, Chairman of our Cabinet, and complete and wholehearted supporter of our Sustainable Island State agenda with energy at the forefront. Allow me also to recognize the Premier of Nevis, Mr. Mark Brantley, Honorable Mark Brantley, other cabinet colleagues, Dr. Joya Clark, Minister of Sustainable Development et al., and Dr. Honorable Iceline Phillip, Minister responsible for social development, youth, etc. My visiting colleagues from around the region, Director General of the OECS, Dr. Jules, all of the staff for the OECS, all of the hardworking persons who often sometimes don't get recognized, senior officials in the government of St. Kitts and Nevis and other industries, inclusive of our ambassadors. I acknowledge the presence of our ambassador for China and Taiwan, and for Cuba, and representative for Venezuela as well, permanent secretaries, technical experts, everybody, a pleasant good morning to all. It is still morning, right? Yes, I thought you, because it is really truly an honor to stand before you today as the incoming chair of the Third Council of Ministers Energy Meeting. On behalf of the government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis, I want to warmly welcome you to our beautiful shores, where we gather not only as colleagues, but as partners in shaping the future of sustainable energy for the OECS. Now, before I begin, of course, please allow me this opportunity to extend heartfelt gratitude to the outgoing chair, the Honorable Karine James of Grenada, who unfortunately couldn't be here, but we heard from her. Grenada's astute leadership over the past year has set certainly a high bar. Under your guidance, Minister, the Council has achieved meaningful progress in driving the energy agenda forward, pushing boundaries and facilitating valuable collaboration among our member states. For this, we thank you, and you have laid a solid foundation, and I will seek to build upon that with equal commitment and focus. Now, as we gather here today under the theme Sustainable Energy, Creating Opportunities for Reinventing the Economy of the OECS, I believe it is critical to reflect on both the significance and urgency of this conversation. Sustainable energy is no longer simply a goal. It is a pathway to unlocking new economic opportunities, driving innovation, and building resilience for our small island developing states. Transitioning our energy infrastructure to sustainable energy sources, characterized by being indigenous, clean, and renewable, presents a significant opportunity to reinvent our economies. When combined with the energy efficiency measures, this transition creates a multiplied effect. While the challenges posed by climate change are well known, the solutions are within reach. We are blessed with an abundance of natural resources across the region: wind, solar, geothermal, and the ocean itself that can power our economies sustainably. We are, after all, small island states, but large ocean states. Harnessing these resources requires vision, cooperation, and most importantly, a commitment to long-term change that benefits both our people and our planet. For the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, the pursuit of our sustainable island state agenda is not just a lofty ambition. It is an urgent priority. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Dr. Joy Leclerc for her leadership in our CISA agenda, and of course our Prime Minister, who is wholeheartedly behind this particular agenda of ours. As we work to transition our country to a cleaner, more resilient energy system, we recognize that sustainable energy development is a major pillar in realizing this vision. Our goal is to reduce our dependence on imported fossil fuels, of course, strengthen energy security, and create a robust economy based on renewable energy. Whether it is through our efforts in expanding solar energy or our focus on tapping into geothermal potential on the island of Nevis, we are determined to ensure that our development is not at the expense of future generations, but for their prosperity. Allow me just to go back to refer to something that the Premier mentioned. In November of 2023, the National Assembly of St. Kitts and Nevis unanimously passed a resolution titled Resolution of the National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis on geothermal energy, where it was resolved, among other things, that the National Assembly acknowledges the potential of the project to enhance energy security, reduce reliance on fossil fuels, and promote sustainable economic development. The National Assembly expresses its support for collaborative efforts between the federal government and the Nevis Island Administration in the pursuit of geothermal energy development and the project. The National Assembly expresses confidence that the project will contribute significantly to achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and advancing the Federation's commitment to a future of clean, affordable, and renewable energy in its transition into a sustainable island state. I want you to put your hands together for our National Assembly and the collaboration that now exists between the sister islands. Now, a more secure and affordable energy supply can lead to increased disposable income, of course, for individuals and lower operational costs for businesses. This reduction in expenses can stimulate further investment, creating additional economic opportunities across various sectors. It can also serve to attract investments in energy-intensive industries, some of which have been identified already this morning. The theme of this year's meeting resonates deeply with our vision. It calls upon us to see beyond the traditional economic models that have dominated our region's history and to embrace the green economy as a new frontier of opportunity. Sustainable energy is no longer a side conversation. It is the main event. The jobs created, the industries built, being vulnerable to global energy price shocks to being more self-sufficient and resilient. By prioritizing indigenous energy sources, we reduce our reliance on imported fuels, which conserves foreign reserves and boosts our energy independence. The eventual financial savings on impacts can be, as mentioned, redirected into local economies, allowing for reinvestment in community development and social programs. But as we know, no country can do this alone and achieve this alone. The energy transition requires partnerships. It requires cooperation and the sharing of best practices and expertise. It is in this spirit that I want to commend the OECS Commission for their leadership and unwavering support to member states as we collectively pursue our sustainable energy development goals. The OECS has played a critical role in guiding and coordinating regional efforts, ensuring that we move forward together. Whether through capacity building, technical assistance, or fostering policy dialogues, their work is integral to our success. As we move into the discussions over the next 2 days, I encourage all of us to consider how we can leverage our individual strengths to build regional synergies that advance this agenda. The conversations we will have on energy efficiency, renewable energy development and integration, and capacity building are not abstract exercises, but rather concrete steps that will move us closer to our shared goals. St. Kitts and Nevis is committed to being a leader in the region's energy transformation. We are focused on working with the OECS, our OECS partners, to ensure that no country is left behind as we embark on this landmark journey. The road ahead is not without its challenges. Access to finance, infrastructural limitations, and capacity gaps are just some of the hurdles we must overcome. However, I believe that if we work together as a region, leveraging our collective experience and resources, we can turn these challenges into opportunities. Finally, let us also acknowledge that the energy transition is not just a matter of economics or technology. It is about people. It is about ensuring that the citizens of our region, particularly the most vulnerable, benefit from the cleaner, more affordable, and more reliable energy systems we are building. Whether it's through job creation in the green economy, reducing energy poverty, or fostering innovation and entrepreneurship, the ultimate goal of this transition is to improve the quality of life for our people. In closing, I want to reaffirm the unwavering commitment of St. Kitts and Nevis to advancing the sustainable energy agenda within the OECS. It is important for us to recognize the immense potential that the transition to sustainable energy holds for the OECS. As we engage in discussions over the next 2 days, let us be inspired by the possibilities that lie ahead. Possibilities that can redefine our economies, enhance our energy independence, and safeguard the environment for future generations. The journey will present challenges, but together we possess the collective strength and vision to turn these opportunities into tangible outcomes. Let us embrace this path forward, united in our commitment to a thriving and sustainable OECS. Thank you all once again for being here. I look forward to our deliberations and the outcomes that will shape the next phase of our journey. And I trust that you will have an opportunity to enjoy the wonderful St. Kitts and Nevis. May we have a fruitful and inspiring meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Maynard. Thank you for, of course, urging all delegates to approach the discussions with bold ideas and collective spirit, ensuring that the outcomes of this meeting will set us firmly on the path towards a sustainable future. And how do we all get it done? How is it possible? It is possible because of the dynamic leadership of one who has been holding the ship so well. We want to invite the Minister of Finance, National Security, Citizenship and Immigration, Health and Human Resource Management, and Social Security, the Prime Minister of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Terence Jules.
Good morning to all. Before I get started with the official remarks, let me leave a few good things about St. Kitts that you should take back. We have been harnessing geothermal energy for commercial means for a very long time. I did not say for energy. One of the first hotels ever built in the Western Hemisphere was built on Nevis, Bath Hotel, and it was because of the water, the spring warm water as a result of the volcano. Second thing you can take back is on Nevis is where Alexander Hamilton was born. He was the first Secretary of the Treasury of the United States of America. I would also like you to take back with you that Brimstone Hill is the Gibraltar of the West Indies. Very large fort. I hope you get a chance to see it. And lastly, because we have recently celebrated the Buckley's Uprising, it is the first recorded uprising that led to the extinction of colonization in many of the countries, even as far as India, and that is from Sir Hilary Beckles, and that took place in 1934. So just 35. So just some facts for you to take back about St. Kitts and Nevis. I listened carefully to a number of speeches, and I saw Dr. Didicus Jules mention a lot of mega things, and I know it takes also mega political will, and I think that is where I come in today. Let me recognize the Honorable Matt Brantley, Premier of Nevis. Also want to recognize, she presented virtually, but her leadership over the last year has advanced our cause here in the OECS, Honorable Kerrine Z. James, Minister of Climate Resilience, etc., Renewable Energy of Grenada. And I want to bring it closer home and to recognize the Honorable Conrad Maynard, Minister of Energy et al., for his excellent leadership when it comes to the matters of energy. You may know or you may not know, but he's also an engineer by training and has worked in the area of energy. and we are immensely fortunate to have him as our Minister of Energy, and I'm certainly wishing him well. Put your hands together for him. Let me also recognize the Honorable Dr. Joy Clark, who is our Minister for Climate Action, Ital Sustainable Development, and so forth. She has been the engine in terms of administratively and politically leading on this more specifically. She's here with us. Put your hands together for her. I want to recognize also the Honorable Aislinn Phillip. She's also from the Federal Cabinet, Minister of Youth, Ital, because youth are generally the ones who we would require to drive this as well. Put your hands together for her. But I also want to recognize very quickly members of the Council of Corps from other countries who have been on this journey with us. I want to recognize the Ambassador of the Republic of China, Taiwan, Ambassador Lin. Also want to recognize Ambassador David from the Republic of Cuba, and from Venezuela, their representative from their embassy who is here with us as well. Put your hands together for the Council of Corps. Dr. Didicus Jules, your leadership is outstanding, and we, of course, are benefiting from it. I want to also recognize all of the other honorables, ministers of energy and head of delegations who are here with us today. I want to also recognize the partners who are here, and forgive me if I forget any of you, but I wanted to mention you because your participation is critical in all of this. The CDB, SICRI, GGGI, JIZ, IRENA, ECCB, Friends, Energy Globals, REDIA, and CAF. If I did not mention you, it's not intentional at all, but I want to welcome all of you to this meeting because your participation here is critically important. And to all of our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen who are joining us physically or by other means, welcome to the beautiful Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Allow me to join the Honorable Economist Maynard, of course, who gave you warm welcome, very hospitable welcome, to our distinguished delegates and the OECS Council members of Energy that is being convened right here in this federation. As a small island developing state, or as small island developing states, our energy future must be built on a foundation of resilience, innovation, sustainability, and affordability. The OECS collaboration is a shining example of how we can collectively advance our regional energy goals. I therefore commend the OECS Commission and partners for their unwavering commitment to this most noble and vital cause. The theme of this meeting, Sustainable Energy, Creating Opportunities for Reinventing the Economy of the OECS, is both timely and urgent. It reflects the recognition that energy is not just a sector, but an economic enabler, one that has the power to redefine our region's development trajectory. For far too long, our nations have been at the mercy of fluctuating fossil fuel prices and the economic vulnerabilities they impose. We must therefore be emphatic and pellucid in our perspectives. Energy security is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Reducing our dependence on imported energy sources is an economic imperative that will help us stabilize costs, protect our economies from external shocks, and provide our people with the affordable and reliable electricity. Our transition to sustainable energy not only aligns with our environmental commitments, but also serves as a driver of economic transformation, ensuring that every citizen reaps the benefits of a more stable and self-sufficient energy system. The road to economic resilience in the OECS is paved with clean energy solutions. A robust green energy sector presents boundless opportunities for job creation, investment attraction, and technological advancement. By tapping into utility-scale renewable projects, enhancing energy efficiency, and exploring emerging technologies like green hydrogen, we are not only securing our energy future, but also positioning our nations as leaders in sustainable economic growth. Renewable energy will be the backbone of our key industries, agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, ensuring that these sectors remain competitive and sustainable for generations to come. Regional integration will be pivotal in our transition. This must be underscored. Regional integration will be pivotal in our energy transition. We must think beyond borders and embrace the potential of shared resources. Collaboration and interconnection projects such as submarine energy cables can unlock new opportunities for cross-border electricity trade benefiting all member states. We must also learn from the successes within our own region. The advancements in geothermal energy seen in Guadeloupe and Martinique offer invaluable lessons that can guide our broader regional strategies. Additionally, we must expand initiatives such as the Eastern Caribbean Solar Challenge to ensure greater solar energy adoption across our nations. The solutions exist, and it is up to us to implement them effectively. One of our greatest hurdles remains financing, as was mentioned by a number of members. But I dare say the OECS is already collaborating on a number of critical matters. One example is the OECS joint purchasing of medications. As a result of that, the insulin vial, which might cost St. Kitts and Nevis alone twice as much as it costs us presently because we buy it together. We already have the formula. We can apply it to this sector, of course. And while the desire for renewable energy is strong, access to capital continues to be a barrier. Governments must actively pursue concessional financing, leverage public-private partnerships, and explore innovative funding mechanisms such as green bonds, blended finance models, etc. So institutions like the Caribbean Development Bank play a crucial role in de-risking investments, and we must work collectively to create an enabling environment that attracts the level of funding required to accelerate our transition to clean energy. So strong leadership and policy direction are critical to ensuring that our ambitions translate into real progress. Governments must create regulatory frameworks that provide certainty and stability for investors while ensuring that renewable energy adoption is prioritized across all sectors. Policy consistency, strategic partnerships, and the decisive actions are what will propel us forward. We must champion initiatives that not only set targets, but also implement tangible solutions that improve the lives of our people. Therefore, this meeting must not just be another conversation, not saying that the others were just that. It must be a platform for decisive action. Our citizens are looking to us to deliver on the promise of a sustainable energy future. The time for pilot projects and feasibility studies must now give way to full-scale implementation. And as leaders, we must ensure that every commitment made here is backed by concrete plans and measurable progress. The benefits of renewable energy investments extend beyond immediate cost savings. They represent long-term economic stability, climate resilience, and a legacy of sustainability for future generations. We here in St. Kitts and Nevis remain steadfast in our commitment to regional energy collaboration. We believe in the collective power of the OECS to achieve energy independence and sustainability. So as we embark on this journey together, let us be bold in our ambitions, strategic in our actions, and unwavering in our commitment to progress. And therefore encourage each of us to participate fully. St. Kitts and Nevis already demonstrates a model. The Premier is also the leader of the opposition in the National Assembly. But we have agreed on one thing. You as politicians or those who know politics, it is difficult, more than one, it is difficult for the leader and the leader of the opposition to work together. St. Kitts and Nevis, we are saying that it is imperative that we work together. And so I hope that our example of collaborating on an issue that needs collaboration for it to be resolved, for no single politician or single political party can resolve the matter. Let our example be an example to the OECS. And therefore, I want to announce that through our collaboration, geothermal will become a reality. I can say today that we have raised the necessary financing to start the drilling of those wells in 2025. And so I encourage the OECS and as a region for us to continue to work together. Together, we have the vision. Together, we have the expertise. Together, we can have the determination to transform our region's energy future. Let us seize this opportunity and drive meaningful outcomes that will benefit our people and our economies. The future of energy in the OECS is in our hands, and the collective action we can therefore build, and with collective action, we can therefore build a brighter, more sustainable tomorrow. I wish you fruitful and successful deliberations and outcome, which we across the region are anticipating. And while you do so, I encourage you to find some time to experience the warmth, the culture, the people of our beautiful Twin Island Federation, St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. And I think the Prime Minister, of course, would have given the clarion call for this meeting to move beyond discussion to actionable outcomes that will fast-track the region's energy transition. Thank you for the commitment to ensure that the finances are in place to assist this federation as we shape the landscape of St. Kitts and Nevis. Put your hands together again for our Prime Minister. We are going to invite some drummers at this time. Mr. Herbert, I'm not going to attempt to call the first name, because I don't know if Ms. Rattan would have sent incorrectly spelled names. Mr. Herbert, Mr. Phipps, and Mr. Tudor. Put your hands together for those persons. After they would have performed, the next person you will hear is the Senior Assistant Secretary in the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Mrs. Shanika Carey Brown, who would give the vote of thanks, and then we invite, after Shanika, Ms. Rattan, who will speak on logistics and the way forward.
honorable ministers, distinguished guests, development partners, and delegates. As we bring this opening ceremony to a close, it is my distinct honor to extend our deepest gratitude to all those who have made this gathering possible. On behalf of the government and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, I extend a warm welcome to all our regional colleagues and partners. We are truly delighted to host this important meeting and trust that your time here will be both productive and enjoyable. A special thank you to our Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew, for his inspiring words and steadfast leadership in shaping a vision for a more sustainable energy future in the OECS. Your commitment to progress and innovation sets at the tone for the critical discussions ahead. We also express our appreciation to the Honorable Mark Brantley, Premier of Nevis and Minister of Energy, whose advocacy for geothermal energy and renewable solutions continues to position our region as a leader in clean energy development. A heartfelt and special acknowledgement goes to the Honorable Conwys Maynard, Minister of Public Infrastructure, Energy and Utilities. Minister Maynard's unwavering dedication and proactive leadership in the energy sector have played a pivotal role in advancing St. Kitts and Nevis towards a more resilient and sustainable energy landscape. His passion for clean, affordable, and innovative energy solutions has already brought significant momentum to our national and regional energy transformation. As he steps into the role of chair of the OECS Council of Ministers, we have full confidence that his expertise, vision, and commitment will drive further progress on the entire OECS region. To Dr. Didicus Jules, Director General of the OECS Commission, we extend our sincere appreciation for your unwavering commitment to the region integration and sustainable development. Your insight today reinforced the urgency and importance of working together to achieve our shared energy goals. A special note of gratitude goes to the outgoing chair, Honorable Karine James, for your outstanding leadership over the past year. Your dedication, hard work, and vision have strengthened our region energy agenda and laid a solid foundation for continued collaboration. Your efforts in advancing key initiatives and fostering dialogue among member states have been truly commendable. We thank you for your service and look forward to building on the progress you have championed. We also recognize and thank all participating ministers, technical experts, developing partners, including representatives from CDB, GIZ, and Energy Globus. Your commitment to the OECS Sustainable Energy Roadmap 2025-2035 is invaluable, and we look forward to your continued support in implementing impactful energy solutions. To the organizing committee and event coordinators, your meticulous planning and execution have ensured a smooth and engaging opening session. Your dedication behind the scenes have not gone unnoticed, and we truly appreciate your hard work. Finally, to all delegates and attendees, we are grateful for your presence and engagement. The discussions that begin today will pave the way for critical policies and initiatives that will shape the energy future of the OECS. As we move forward, let us remain steadfast to our shared vision of sustainable, affordable, and resilient energy future for our region. Together, we can turn ambition into action. Once again, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all. Welcome to St. Kitts and Nevis, and let us have a successful and productive meeting. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. With all protocols observed, I am Sharon Rattan. I am here in the capacity just providing some logistic support to the OECS and local teams on the ground. So I hope this logistic note energizes you. It is intended to. Now, you would have received invitations to go to a cocktail. We want you, though, we're going to scrap the cocktail, and we're going to allow you to take off your jackets, your ties, the ladies, wear your flat shoes, and you are invited to Island Vibes, Island Energy, that is the title of the event, Island Energy, Local Flavors and Connections, at a rustic bar in the village, where the Minister Maynard would be very happy that we chose. It is in his constituency. In the village, to immerse yourself in our cultural cuisine, music, and entertainment. Honorable Matt Brantley, have you ever been there? I hope you stay for this one. So this evening, you will gather in the lobby at 6:30 p.m. A bus is provided. Of course, the ministers have their transportation. A bus is provided for you, and we are set to leave at 6:45. Okay? So we are calling it Island Energy. We want you to take in not just the energy discussions we are having today, but that community vibe and have some fun. For the Consulate Corps who have the invitations, if you don't know, we are melted away by the Secretariat to give you this, directions to that. So we are looking for meaningful collaboration and networking with you this evening, take you out of the walls of the hotel this evening. Tomorrow on your formal agenda, there is a field trip to the central bank. You're aware of that? Great. Now, in order to access the bank, you have to walk with an ID. Make sure you have an ID in your pockets. Okay? And we have another surprise with another field trip extending that field trip. As you leave that field trip, we have just finalized for you with a high-end boutique hotel in St. Kitts, but we are just saying that you do leave some money with them and buy other drinks of your choice. So that is what is set for you for the 2 days. So you do get to see. The only unfortunate thing, Minister Brantley, the meeting is too short. I don't know who can go to Nevis tonight or tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow night. Okay? And now, so on to when you leave here, first we are going to invite you for some official photos. Photographers, you would step forward, and the first photo will be the Ministers of Energy and the Cabinet, Prime Minister, Director General, DG, Didicus Jules, and members of Cabinet, and then we will have the Ministers of Energy, Minister Maynard and Honorable Matt Brantley, and then we are going to have a picture with all the ministers, all the development partners. So photographers, they will be helping to organize you for those photos. Now the others of you, you can take your break on the outside. Remember to eat all the fruits because lunch would be soon. Lunch will be served very soon. So do have a productive day, and you can step forward, photographer.